Hey guys, how you doing? Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. It is New Year's Eve, and I think there might be a few of you out there who are not out partying yet. So I at least wanted to come on and first of all wish you, hey Quentin, how you doing? And wish you all a very, very, very happy New Year. Hey, Ward, how are you? Great to see you. Hey, James, what's up? My man Chavis is on the live. This is exciting. I'm seeing some of my best buddies on here. How y'all doing? And what y'all doing? I hope you're getting ready to go out. But I wanted to come in really quick to say hi to you and just to really think about this year, this New Year's Eve, because this New Year's Eve is special to me. I don't know. I mean, y'all are grown folks up in here. To me, this New Year's Eve feels almost as special as 1999. Y'all remember that? When we were going into 2000. Hey there, Colin. How are you? My friend all the way from Tonga, Pacific Islands. Great to see you. Hi there. So Quentin says, I'm going to church, then to the club. Well, at least you got your priorities straight, my man. Hey there, John. Great to see you. Oh my goodness. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm using these because I'm thinking that might help with the audio a little bit. So listen, I wanted to pop on for a few minutes here because one of my sort of New Year's resolutions is to pop on more regularly, do more lives, and I wanted to start that off tonight. And the reason why is because I just wanted to share with you, Happy New Year to you, David, as well. Hey there, Shayla. How you doing, sis? I almost said soror. You're a soror in my heart. How about that? So true for some. It does feel super special. You're right. I mean, going into this year, 2020, it just feels special to me. It just feels different. Like I said, to me, it feels, the only thing comparable is when, we were at that 2K moment where we were wondering, is the world going to end when we go from 1999 to 2000? And, you had Prince's song 1999 that we had been singing by that point, at least a decade, right? And so, hey, Colleen, great to see you, my man. And so this night feels kind of like that. It feels that same level of significance, moving from that we had when we moved from 1999 to 2000, moving from 2019 to 2020. It just seems, such a round figure, right? 2020. It just seems like something big, something bold is going to happen this year. And I kind of wanted to pop on for a minute to talk with you about that because a lot of us around this time of year, we start to think about what we want our next year to look like, what our goals are. We set resolutions. We hopefully start new habits. We start to move in the direction of where we want to go. What's up, Angela? Hey, Dee. How you doing, girl? And we do this every year. Statistics suggest that most of us fall off within 30 days or less. But at least we start with the best of intentions, right? But for me, I'm thinking bigger this year. I'm thinking bigger than 1 year. Because when I think back in terms of, hey there, girl, thank you. Thanks so much for the New Year's wishes, Dee. Hey, Maurice. Thank you, Angie. This year I'm thinking bigger than 1 year because to me, 2020 for me is not just about designing a year or thinking about a year ahead. To me, 2020 is about designing a decade, thinking where I want to be a decade from now. And what do I need to make happen in this year to be foundational for where I want to be in 2030, right? I'm thinking bigger, right? I'm thinking bigger. What new reality do I want to make in 2030 that I have to lay a foundation for in 2020? And so I thought about that because, if you think about where you were 10 years ago, like where were you in 2010? Enough time has elapsed for you to have moved in a number of different directions, personally and professionally, right? And so your life today, most likely for most of you, looks completely different than it did in 2010, which hopefully is a good thing, right? Hopefully it's a good thing. Now think about how you made that happen, right? And think about maybe where you would have rather have been now. Like what sort of decisions should you have made earlier to get you where where you would have liked to have been today, that you're not quite there yet, right? So I want you to think about that, because I want you to have that sort of energy as you're thinking about where you want to be in this next decade of life. As we get older and more seasoned, right? It almost seems like time collapses, right? It seems like decades seem to go by quicker. When you have children, you see these huge changes in them between like a newborn baby and a 10-year-old, and a 10-year-old and a 20-year-old. You're looking at completely different human beings, really, in terms of at least their physical form, their level of maturation, what they are capable of doing by themselves independently. You're looking at huge leaps and growth and change and expansions, right? But when we're talking about adults, that same 10 years goes by. And unless you are intentional about what you do at that time, it's possible that not that much could change, or worst case scenario, particularly if you're talking about your health, things could deteriorate, right? And so with adults, it's really about being much more strategic and intentional about your actions in order to create those realities that you want in the long term. Because here's what happens. Because we're so set on this year by year tradition, right? This year by year sort of cultural norm that we always run up to on the edge of a new year, we typically don't get into the habit of thinking long term. We get in the habit of thinking short term. And when you are an adult, like when you're over 18, a year in the scope of things in your life, in terms of hopefully how big your goals are, can go by like that. And so unless you're thinking a lot more strategically about where I ultimately want to get in my life, then that year by year goal is not enough to really set you up to ultimately where you think you may want to be a decade from now. So I just wanted to take a quick second to, hey there, Cherise, hey there, Valerie, to suggest to you that as you're doing your planning this year, and around how you want to live, you know, those goals that you want to hit in 2020, and those resolutions that you want to turn into habits that stick in 2020. I want you to think about that in the context of where you want your life to be, not only a year from now, but a decade from now. And how can you make that happen? Belinda says, love and peace and wholeness be unto you always, my sister friend. Thank you, sister. Same to you, Queen. May your new year be full of great adventures. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much, sis. So anyway, in that vein, let me know in the comments if you would be interested in something like this. But I was considering having some sort of free online workshop on Sunday around designing a decade. You know, design of a decade, basically. Am I the only one who remembers? Wasn't there a Janet Jackson album called Design of a Decade? I think it was. I think it was like a greatest hits album. I could be wrong, but I think it was. Well, I'm going to steal that name, okay? Lucy, you said your oldest son is going to be 50 years old in 2020? Really? Oh, that's cool. Hey, Tiffany. My oldest son is 24 and my youngest is 16. But they grow up too fast. So, you know, they've only been around for a couple of decades. At least one of them. One hadn't even been around for a couple of decades. Thank you for all you helped me achieve in the 2010s. Thank you, Karen. Congratulations to you. I'm so proud of all that you've done. Karen has been she's one of my former clients. She's been killing it, not only in the media, but also got an amazing book deal. And she has a new book that will be coming out in the fall. So y'all need to check her out. Excited about her book that will be released, hopefully before the elections. We're going to keep our fingers crossed that the publishers get it out in time. Lucy said, you were living in Europe. Cool. In 2010. See, things change. Quentin says, I like to call it historical rates of return. What should your 10-year return on life be? That's a very good way to think about it, Quentin. I like that perspective. Each decade from now should be better than your last 10 years in life returns. That's a beautiful way of thinking about it, Quentin. I really like that. That phrase has been on your mind too, Tiffany, design of a decade. Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking of developing something on Sunday afternoon, maybe like a couple-hour workshop Well, we could sit down in real time. This may be even more than a couple hours. I might make it like a really longer workshop where we can, it's not just me. It's not like a webinar type of thing where it's just somebody talking at you. It's us doing the work in real time to design your decade, right? And get you to stop thinking small in these incremental year by year steps and start thinking big about what really do you want your life to be back like a year from now. And the reason why I'm thinking like this, I think, is not only because we're up against 2020, which to me is almost like a year of completion. It's just a certain roundness to that number. I don't really know much about numerology. My former brother-in-law, who I still consider like my brother-in-law in my heart, every year, he's a numerologist. That's one of his many talents. And every year he texts me what that year is supposed to bring to me because he knows my birth date and all that stuff. And anyway, he tells me, so I'm looking forward to tomorrow and for him to tell me what 2020 should bring for me. Hope it's good. He's pretty accurate. Hey there. Hello from Malta. All right there. Hi, Sampia. Great to see you. Happy New Year to you. So, but when we get to the ages that we are right now, I know for me, I'm getting to the stage in my life where I'm much more intentional about how I want to spend my time. Is anybody else feeling that? Like I'm so tuned into the value of time, because as you get to a certain age, you realize that you probably have more runway. You're about at the point where you're either midway between the runway in front of you and the runway behind you, or you might be starting to get to the point where there's more runway behind you than in front of you, right? And because when that realization hits home, then you start to be a lot more intentional about what you want to do with your time. And you come to realize that you only have one of these beautiful things called life that we know of for real, right? And so now you need to think bigger about how you spend that, and you need to be more strategic about how you spend that. And so to me, that means for us, not just a year by year by year incremental thing that kind of goes to nowhere if you're not really clear about where you're leading to. It's like getting on the road trip. Like today I was on the road for like 6 hours driving my mom back home and coming back here. Thank you, Ty. Happy New Year to you. Great to see you. You get to a point in life where you're starting to say, okay, I need to make sure that where I'm going this year is going to connect to where I want to be 10 years from now. I think we're at that point where we need to be that strategic in our lives, right? We need to be that strategic, right? Exactly, Colin. Starting to build the momentum to a successful year and prosperity in 2020 and beyond. And I'm thinking 2020, to me, 2020 needs to be the springboard to the next stage in your life. The next stage in your life. We have different stages in life. It's easy to see the stages in children, right? You have the infancy, you have toddlerhood, you have preteens, you have tweens, you have teenagers. I'm going through the teenager stage with one of mine, right? Then you have like the college age, so it's easy to see these demarcations in the lives of your children, for those of you who have children. In terms of your life, looking inward, it becomes a little bit more mushy, right? Really respecting the stages in our life, because we're often so busy surviving, right? Just doing what we have to do to pay the bills, to keep the roof over our heads, to take care of our kids, to keep our jobs, get a job, grow a business, keep a business. We get so caught up in the literal rat race, that we're not taking the time to detach and project and think strategically. Is this what I want? Number one. And number two, if it isn't, how do I get to what I want? And in between there, really being real about yourself, about what you want. And if it is what you want, how do you make it better? How do you keep it? How do you grow it? How do you nurture it? Because you could have a beautiful life, but if you're spending your time not really focused on the important things, you could be neglecting those things that are most important to you. And ultimately, that then could undermine the maintenance of that thing that you say that you care about most, right? And so all of this is important to think about. And so if you would be interested in me having some sort of free online workshop, say Sunday afternoon, design a decade, just say yes in the comments, and I will put the information. I'll get the information up there. I'll try my best to I'll get the information up there on tomorrow, and we'll start to get you guys registered, and we'll start to push that out, because I don't really have a huge agenda for this. I just feel like this is something that I'm called to do right now. I feel like I need to do this. I know this is something that I want to do for myself, and I think that this is something that would be helpful for a lot of people. And I just want to take the opportunity to sort of see if this is something that you'd be interested in. If it is, I will definitely make it available to you all. All right. So Sambia says yes. Great to see that. Hey there, Dwayne. How are you? I'm excited about it. I think this would be. Hey there, Deborah. Deborah Owens in the house, America's Wealth Coach. Hey, girl. So it is exciting. To me, it's exciting to think about that. So Quentin says yes, absolutely. Would be great to have you guys. Hey, Gerald, how you doing? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you all know. Keep an eye out on my Facebook page. I'll do some more lives tomorrow as well, but I'll put up like a registration link or something tomorrow, if not tonight, but definitely tomorrow. Maybe not tonight, but definitely tomorrow. I'll put out a registration link, because I would love to be able to get a number of you. And I see this will be like a live training, like on Zoom. We're going to do it on Zoom. Most likely. We'll either do it on Zoom or Facebook Live. I'll figure it out. We maybe do a Zoom connected into Facebook Live. I'll figure out how I'm going to do it. But the bottom line is I want it to be interactive. I want us to be able to chat with each other. What's up, Brian Tippins? Great to see you, man. Happy New Year. I want us to be able to talk to each other, get to know each other a little bit, be able to ask questions and get responses in real time. That's why I'm kind of leaning a little bit towards Zoom, because I want to be able to talk directly with you instead of only working via the live chat here. But I'll figure it out one way or the other. We'll either do it live on Facebook or we'll do it via Zoom. Let me know if you have a preference. Cooking gumbo. Now, you know why he do that to me? Why did Dwayne come on here just to floss about him cooking gumbo and he ain't gonna give me none? That is so wrong. So wrong. Anybody that knows me knows that I love New Orleans and I love New Orleans cuisine. And he gonna come up on this live and just say, I'm cooking gumbo, gotta go. You know you so wrong, Dwayne. Why you do that to a sister? I don't even know why you did that to me. There, Larry and Lisa. All right, so cool. So I'm hearing a few yeses. So if this is something you guys would like, I definitely am going to go ahead and do it. Hi, Avis. Hope all is well. Enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you. See you next year, Stacy. Have fun. Well, I'm not going to keep you guys because I'm sure many of you have New Year's Eve plans, and I don't want to sort of, obviously, you're going to go and do them, whether I'm on here or not. I hope you do. But I didn't even intend for this to be long. I just kind of wanted to get that off my chest about the importance of thinking when we become, grown and sexy. It's time for us to start thinking beyond 1 year increments and start thinking in larger increments, right? And right here in terms of 2020, I think it's a perfect time to start thinking about how do I design a decade rather than merely making New Year's resolutions. And so that's why I'm excited about this inspiration to give a masterclass on this of some sort on Sunday where we can really go through that together. And so I will be posting the information about that tomorrow and pushing that for the next few days. Do sign up if you'd like to join me because, it's time to think bigger. It's time to think about where you want to be 10 years from now, personally, professionally, and exactly what do you need to do next year to lay the foundation to make that happen? Because just like when you're building a house, if you don't have the foundation right, It ain't gonna last, y'all. What's up, Carol? Hey, LaShonda. Hey there, Chris Smith. How you doing? Hey, Ron. Just came from Tobago vacation. Whoa, nice. That sounds like a lot of fun, Stacy. So yes, thank you there, James. So yes, let's do this design of a decade on Sunday. We're gonna get real, and we're gonna think about us. We're gonna really plot out and plan out and decide, okay, where do I need to be 10 years from now? What do I need to do in 2020 to make that happen? And let's get it on and popping. Sounds good, you guys? Hope so. All right, so great chatting with you all. I hope you have a wonderful New Year's Eve. Have fun out there, but stay safe out there. And looking forward to ringing in 2020. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.